What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I just want to give my quick thoughts on the Burning Springs update now that I have played it for a second time after they've updated it on the test server. So here I am walking into Ohio from Point Pleasant, just kind of giving you a brief overview of what you have to look forward to as you enter into the new expansion. So the main town you're going to be spending a lot of time in is going to be Highway Town. It is located, as you'd expect, on a highway. Kind of like, I believe it was called Erifu in Fallout 3. So as soon as I enter the town in typical Bethesda fashion, I'm getting shot by an NPC that probably shouldn't be shooting me. I can't do any damage to him, but the other townspeople are going to take care of him for me because they're good Samaritans, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. It's obviously a bug, but it's just, typical Bethesda bugs where, perfect timing, where I'm getting shot at by half the NPCs, but not the other half. So, I don't know what's going on here. Getting into the town itself, it's your typical Fallout settlement. Not too much going on here. A lot of NPCs you can't really interact with, but then there are some vendors here and there that sell some new plans, as well as plans from the old Milepost 0 update. So the caravan system has been removed, and those plans have just been moved to vendors in Highway Town. Some for gold bullion, some for caps. Just, take a look around and you'll find out where they are and, which vendors carry them. This lady here, Splint, sells the V63 laser carbine, a very strong weapon, so if you don't have those plans, feel free to pick those up from her. Taking a look up here on the upper level, there's a clinic. I don't think you interact with this guy. Nope. And then the other lady, Wendy from Milepost 0, she sells some outfits for gold bullion, and I believe there's a new outfit, I believe it's her outfit actually, that you can buy for about 400 to 500 gold bullion. So if you have any of these plans or you didn't bother with anything in Milepost 0, there you go. When you're exploring the area, you'll hear these pings. And then if you take a look for them and hunt them down, it is a suitcase for a Braxo cleaner. So there's probably 100 or 50 of these laying around the map. Pick them up, take them to Athens for a quest, and you'll get some kind of reward. I'm not going to spoil it. Moving on to the main focus of this expansion, it's going to be bounty hunting. It's a new system they're introducing with the Ghoul character from the Fallout TV show, with two different kinds of activities. There is the grunt hunt and then the head hunt. A grunt hunt is essentially just a daily, but you can do it infinitely, where you just go, you hunt down a target, you kill them, and you get rewarded for it. The rewards typically include things like legendary items and legendary modules, so very good for infinite farming, especially for newer players. The headhunt, on the other hand, is going to cost you 5,000 caps per run. I don't know if there's a lockout on it. I don't imagine there is. Just as long as you can keep forking over 5,000 caps, you can keep on doing them. But it's going to function like the Imposter Sheep Squatch mission, where if you trigger it, it's going to notify the entire server that a headhunt has started. These are basically just a souped up version of the grunt hunt, where you'll still get rewarded legendary items, but you'll get rewarded much more than just 1 or 2 items. I think you get around 4 or 5 legendary items, including the one on the enemy themselves. So very good for collecting legendaries, and especially for newer players who can participate in these, by the way, even if they don't start them. Just a very good way to farm legendaries outside of something like the Eviction Notice public event. On screen now you see me doing a grunt hunt, so this is me fighting my grunt hunt target with the Dom Pedro weapon, the new weapon coming with the update, which has been significantly reworked. Well, the reflex sight is not accurate at all. It doesn't match up well for actually aiming. Aside from that, the weapon's damage is definitely a lot lower than it used to be when it first launched on test server, so it's substantially weaker. But it's still nice that we're getting new weapons. I think new weapons are always appreciated by the community because it just gives you something new to play around with, as opposed to they give you the Elder's Mark or the Holy Fire, which is just a unique variant of an existing weapon. This is just a completely new weapon entirely, and it has a lot of different attachments that change how it actually functions, so that's pretty cool. These targets can be a little beefy. Somebody showed up on test server and just kind of killed him for me, which is what I expect my main character to be able to do, just kind of, one-shot these guys, but newer players probably will struggle a little bit with these targets, but it's a reliable way to farm legendaries, and it shouldn't be, completely free, but it's relatively easy, and once you get the hang of it, you should be doing these in about 2 to 3 minutes a run. Now showing some footage from a headhunt. I started this headhunt and then this guy showed up to help me with it. These targets, they do have a raid boss health bar on the bottom of the screen. Don't be intimidated by that. It's nowhere near as bulky as a raid boss is or as challenging, but they do spawn in with several different enemies that are there with them. And this one also spawned in with some sting wings, but I think the sting wings might just be here like a static spawn for this location. It just happened to be here when they were there. But it was quite the fight. You can see on the roof just kind of plonking away with a hunting rifle, which by the way does a lot of damage now and is a very good weapon. And then we just kind of take this guy down, and then you can see what kind of rewards I get from this fight. It's definitely worth doing these whenever you see them pop up because the rewards are quite substantial. Now moving on to my general thoughts about the update. So the update does bring two new public events, one centered on Rad Scorpions and the other one centered around the new enemy faction and their death claws, like you can see on screen right now. But aside from that, it's just a huge explorable area, lots of different locations to look at, and the grunt hunt system. Now the expansion as a whole, it's a pretty good update. I do enjoy the things that they brought. I think them doing expanded areas to the existing map is always preferred over something like expeditions because those just seem kind of detached and empty, but this can seem more integrated with the existing Fallout 76 experience. Aside from those things, I think that the veteran player experience with this update is going to be pretty limited, if anything. Really the only thing that is here for veteran players is going to be hunting down those new legendary effects, and then doing the quest and maybe doing the challenges associated with the bounties. But aside from those, there's not really much there for existing players. However, new and returning players are going to have quite the time, being able to farm legendaries pretty reliably now, and being able to participate in the new activities and explore the new area, as well as all the other updates they might have missed from the game in the past year. So lots of things for new players to do, but for older players, there's not really anything substantial here, in my opinion. But I do want to give a shout out to Bethesda because they did do great on this area. It is a nice explorable area. It's my favorite area that they've added to the game. I like this much more than Skyline Valley. And that might just be because of the skybox. I mean, look at the one on screen right now. Like, this skybox at night in this area is just beautiful. Anyways, those have been my thoughts for the Burning Springs update coming to Fallout 76, I believe in December. It's a good direction for the game. I like that they're adding new explorable areas that are connected to the map as opposed to something like an expedition. However, I do hope that they add more things for endgame players going forward, such as new raids or difficult activities or something like new region bosses that veteran players will want to farm and continue, interacting with in the game itself. But aside from all that, I'm going to leave you guys with this beautiful screen grab of Burning Springs at night. And I really do hope that they add this as a weather station. I know, sorry to plug the Atom shop there, but hey, I mean, I would buy this, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Take care.